everyone. This is Nicole Tafaro, and real quickly, I just want to visit the SWOT analysis that you're going to need to do for Unit 2. When you open up your template, the first thing that you're going to see is that there are strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. These are the four components that make up a SWOT analysis. So what's important to know here is that strengths and weaknesses are internal to your company. Opportunities and threats are external to the company. If you look going down, you'll see that strengths and opportunities are positive, weaknesses and threats are negative. So I want to take this into the next slide to explain this further. A strength are things that are good now within the company. You can maintain them, you can build on them, you can use them as leverage. Whereas your weaknesses are things that are bad now, things you want to fix or remedy, things that you might want to stop or change. Your external factors, opportunities, things that are good for the future. You're going to prioritize these. You're going to capture them. You're going to build on them to optimize those. And your threats, things that are bad for the future. You need to put plans together to counter that. So let's look at some examples. This is an example of a SWOT analysis that I actually did for a client recently. The client was a large hospital system, and before I could start putting together a marketing campaign, I really wanted to take a look at what the strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats were for my client. So starting with the strengths, I learned that all of the physicians at this hospital are board certified. I learned that the hospital has all new equipment. They serve a very large demographic area. They have a separate pediatric emergency room and specialized wings for different diseases, and they accept all insurance. Can you see how, going backwards, these are all good things that we want to maintain and build on? The weaknesses of this hospital is that there is really poor communication between management and staff. The processes that they use are very confusing. The billing department is weak collecting money. And the hospital subcontracts out ambulances, so everything is not internal to this hospital. When we look at the opportunities, they're thinking of partnering with a major pharmaceutical company, and they are starting a resident program with a local medical college. That means there'll be doctors coming in to learn. There's also the potential to merge with smaller hospitals within the service area. Again, these are all opportunities, and going back, these are things that are good for the future, and we're going to capitalize on them. Looking at our threats, there's other hospitals in the area that are trying to take the same patients or take the existing patients. There's also a new specialty hospital opening up close by. It's a cancer center. And we also have to worry about the reduction in health care because the government is changing all of the costs. So this is my SWOT for what I do every day. If we want to look at another company, let's look at Nike. Some of the strengths for Nike is that it's a global brand. They're very innovative. They have a large range of products, and they have diverse distribution channels. We'll talk about that a little further in the course, but you see Nike in malls, you see Nike on TV, you see Nike in magazines, billboards, very diverse, the distribution channels. Some of the weaknesses is that they're highly dependent on their footwear presence. They have a very high price point compared to other brands. Nike and themselves actually has a poor history of social and ethical issues, and they have a reliance on cheap labor. That should say labor, sorry about that. Some of the external opportunities is that there's a trend towards healthier lifestyles across the country right now, and that's something you might want to look up and research and use as a reference. Nike also focuses on upcoming and very popular athletes. There's an opportunity to partner with. And of course, partnerships in general is an opportunity. Who can you partner with to push the Nike brand? Some of the threats are the competition. There's a lot of footwear companies that are competing with Nike. Also, the economic conditions. Because they're priced high, during the downturn of economic, it's harder to sell sneakers that are priced that high. So there's also a reliance on third-party manufacturing. A lot of them are made overseas, and that can affect the quality. Does everyone understand that? When we get into the assignment itself, you are going to have to post your SWOT as an image in the discussion board this week. Along with that, you'll have 2 paragraphs discussing how your company can use the SWOT information to develop marketing strategies and activities. And also paragraph 2, discuss which strength you think you want to leverage. If we break this down even further, we have this diagram, which you'll find under announcements. The critical elements of the SWOTs, the strengths and the weaknesses. To score 100, you're going to describe the strengths and weaknesses that you listed. Also, you're going to leverage the strengths. To score 100, you'll describe how you will use your strengths in the product marketing. On the other side, the opportunities and the threats. To score 100, you're going to provide details about the threats and opportunities which you listed. You'll also interpret them. You'll explain your findings and describe how to use the SWOT in marketing. Of course, timeliness is important. In order to get 100%, this must be submitted by Thursday night at 11:59. You'll also need at least 1 paragraph response to 2 different classmates. And your articulation of response is that they've been proofed and they have no major errors. Remember, if you're using references and outside sources, that always increases this grade area. Don't forget, you're going to respond to at least 2 classmates, and I suggest how you would counter their strengths or take advantage of their weaknesses. That's a great way to respond. So if anybody has any questions, please email me. Best of luck to you. I know you all can do it.